Welcome to the Strengthening Our Community Tree Canopy Through Education, Module Number 5, Palm Anatomy.
The Strengthening Our Community Tree Canopy Through Education series was made possible by a grant through the 2011 National Urban and Community Forestry Grant Program, the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services, and the Florida Forest Service.
This particular module will focus on the anatomy of a palm. The apical meristem is the growing point of the palm and is often referred to as the bud or the heart of the palm. This is the area from which all the leaves originate. Unlike broadleaf trees that have multiple apical meristems, the palm only has one. The pseudobark is the outer protective edge of the palm trunk that contains the inner vascular bundles. These vascular bundles contain the phloem, which transfers carbohydrates manufactured in the leaves to the palm, and the xylem, which conducts water and minerals from the roots to other parts of the palm. The vascular bundles are surrounded by parenchyma cells that serve as a protective layer. It should be noted that palms do not possess a cambium layer like hardwood trees do. Here's another cross-section of the palm trunk showing the concentration of the vascular bundles. Here we see another example of the fibrous strands of the vascular bundles in the trunk of a palm.
At the bottom of a palm trunk is an area of inverted cone-shaped tissue. Basically, it's a triangle. This is known as the root initiation zone. Palm roots will grow longer and they will also branch throughout the life of the palm, but they don't grow thicker like the root systems of woody trees. On the left here you can see a cross-section of the palm root system. On the right, you can see some root initials on the lower portion of the palm trunk. It should be noted that root initials are produced throughout the life of a palm tree, which is something that lends to our ability to successfully transplant them in the landscape. It should be noted that those root initials will remain in a state of arrested development, meaning they're not going to grow unless they come into contact with a substrate and moisture. These arrested root initials are completely normal and don't indicate any sort of problem with the tree. Palms can be described as self-cleaning or non-self-cleaning. Palms that have fronds with tightly clasping leaf bases have what we refer to as a crown shaft, which is the smooth area that you see in the foxtail palm on the right. Palms with this smooth crown shaft are referred to as self-cleaning because their older leaves fall off on their own. And this is an important aspect to consider in terms of maintenance. Palms that are not self-cleaning, such as the queen palm on the left here, may require more pruning or more maintenance throughout its life. Palms are monocots, and sometimes they're referred to as overgrown grasses, but the important thing to keep in mind with them being monocots is that they don't compartmentalize like hardwood canopy trees, so when they're injured they will not heal over. So any wounds that a palm receives will last throughout that palm's life and potentially reduce its longevity. We recommend that you only remove dead fronds that are hanging down, so the brown fronds. You can also remove any fruits or flowers to help keep the tree looking tidy. We do recommend that if you are planning on removing any green tissues, that you cut fronds that are below the horizontal. And a good way to figure this out is to picture the face of a clock. The 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock positions are your horizontal, so any fronds that hang below that could be removed. Just a note about over pruning. You can see in this photo on the left is what we actually used to call hurricane pruning. It used to be thought that that would actually help palms to weather storms, but we've found that this method of pruning actually weakens the trees and can cause their death. It looks like one of those palms has died because of this pruning practice. Excessive over pruning like this, which is way above the horizontal, especially when paired with drought or nutritional deficiencies, can cause something that we call pencil necking. And you can see a very severe form of pencil necking in the image on the right here. You can see this point is probably the weakest section of the palm and where it would be most likely to fail in the event of a storm or heavy wind. This concludes the Strengthening Our Community Tree Canopy Through Education Module Number 5, Palm Anatomy.